The inaugural Music and Film Independent Artists, or MAFIA Awards, were held in Sydney last night, recognising the talent of young and independent documentary makers. One of the winning entries, Frogs Hollow, came from a group of former street kids who gave a gritty first-hand account of what it's like to be a streetie. Here's a sample.
These are the doors that I used to live at. I was about 14. This is where we were at. This is what the streets look like to me. This is what I reckon the streets are about. I was lucky this place was around. If it wasn't, I don't think I'd be here. This is what I think a street is. That's what it's about.
Frogs Hollow, which received special commendation at last night's MAFIA Awards, and we're joined now by first-time filmmaker Jono Zisler, along with documentary maker and judge David Goldie. Good morning and welcome to you both.
Morning.
David, let me start with you. Tell me about the MAFIA Awards in general. What's the concept?
Well, the whole idea, Tracy, was that there wasn't in Australia a dedicated documentary awards. They were always hanging off the back of the Logies or the AFI Awards, and my business partner, Sahel Dardal, was the founder of MAFIA, and it was basically a network to support those artists that would not normally go through a formal training to become filmmakers or musicians, and were in danger of falling through the net and leaving the industry. So we wanted it to be something that where artists who would normally feel a bit isolated because of their struggle to get to be known. Sahel set this up, and we got the documentary awards going. And
I guess Jono falls well and truly into that category. How did you end up mentoring Jono and his crew?
Well, about 13 years ago, I did a film called Nobody's Children that looked at homeless kids, and I worked with homeless kids again 7 years later to see if homelessness was a burden that they carried. And in that time, the Oasis, which was a refuge at that time, was set up. And it's now the Oasis Youth Support Network. And I thought it was rather interesting that over that time that those young kids were incredibly intelligent and had a voice, and there must have been some way that we could give them a voice, and MAFIA seemed absolutely perfect for that.
So, Jono, can you tell me a little bit about your background? How did you end up living on the street?
Oh, yeah, I came to Australia about 1990 to live with my dad and stepmum, and just the step-parent sort of scenario. And about 14 years old, was court order taken out of me and stuff, and put into refuges, and basically stayed that way till I was about 18, 19, and been now 23 and still kicking goals. So just getting on with it, I suppose.
You've been off the street for about 3 or 4 years now. How did that happen?
I don't know, just keeping your head together, and a lot of good people around me, and steering clear of the drugs for a fair while, and so it's a lot of different things all combined.
So can you tell me about making this film? Was it weird to go back to the places that you used to call home, I guess?
Yeah, I found it really strange. It's like, don't really know how to go about it. Like how, I don't know how you sort of explain that sort of feeling. It was a real sort of gut-wrenching feeling to know that I've come so far, yet it's so easy to go straight back.
Did it feel familiar to you, or did it feel quite the reverse, going to those places?
I don't think you'll ever lose the familiarity. I don't think,
You spoke to streeties for making the documentary. Were they people that you knew, and how did you feel about talking to them?
Well, a lot of them we knew, so it was good. I mean, it made it easier because we knew them, and it was easy to do, but then, I don't know, it was kind of hard to sort of be chemical and cold about it, and sort of cut people out and throw people away, and
He's talking about the edit
the
process,
editing.
aren't you?
Oh, right, the editing too.
I mean, that was one of the things that was to be able to go out and shoot it and then work out what they wanted to say as well, and that was something that Jono and 3 other former street kids did. It was terrific what they did, really.
And the people that you spoke to, were they keen to talk? Did they feel like it was nice that someone was asking them about their lives? And would you have liked that when you were living on the street, or would you have said, look, go away and leave me alone?
I don't know. When I was on the street, it was a different matter. I was a lot more aggravated, I suppose, but a lot of the people were really keen to say their point of view, just to sort of dispel the myths that they've encountered. So,
David, were Jono and his mates the only former street crew, if I can characterise them that way, that entered the awards?
Well, this was a special award because, and something that the Goldie Dartle's going to be doing every year at the MAFIA Awards. We're going to look for those people who will not normally have a voice and give them a voice and help them make a documentary. And because of my association with Street Kids, I thought it was just brilliant to work with these guys again, because they're really sharp and obviously very creative as well.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us this morning. Congratulations, Jono.
Thanks
Next
very
stop,
much.
feature films, we hope.
Oh, look out, world.
We'll remember the name. Thank you. We'll be back with news and weather after the break. You're watching Today around Australia and across the Tasman.
Being a streetie isn't actually cool. It's actually a survival game.
It's pretty well defined commonly as a young person that's homeless, disadvantaged, not necessarily by their own choice.